let's get into the topic. So last week we were a little light on news. Today we got a good amount of news. So first thing we want to talk about is the Marvel visual effects union vote.
We've touched on this a lot.
Yeah, so Marvel VFX artists have voted to unionize. Yeah, this is a big deal, and we talked about it because I remember you were texting me about it when we were coming up for the news for the show, and you're like, this is a good thing, right? And I was like, yeah, dude, absolutely. You and I have been talking for weeks about how animators need to be next.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should unionize.
They've never been unionized. And like almost everything else in Hollywood is unionized.
Because you think about this. When we talk about box office numbers, and we, funny enough, we will with Barbie.
Yeah, we
their
will.
Milestone. But you look at this year, animation has been fucking carrying the box office this year. Mario made a whole bunch of money. Spider-Verse made a whole bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that came out this year that made a ton of money too. I can't think of it. There was another one, but like fucking TMNT made a bunch. It came in second to Barbie, but had a pretty solid weekend, and that's animated. I do want to go out and see that. But
they've also
my point is
made it a point. Seth Rogen produced it, I think, right?
Yeah, him and Evan Goldstein.
They made it a point to say like we made sure that we didn't overwork our animators, and they put out a press release about like how
So
the working conditions that their animators were under, which were way better.
Which again, I'm surprised it took
8-hour days.
It took this long. It's not surprising that it's happening, especially with the news coming out about how they are treated. But this is not necessarily talking about the third parties that Marvel's been using. So, visual effects crews at Marvel Studios filed this past Monday.
Bankruptcy. I'm just kidding.
They filed this past Monday, which would be August 7th. For a unionization election with the National Labor Relations Board, according to the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. The labor organization said that Marvel's more than 50 worker crew and signed authorization cards indicating that they wished to be represented by the union.
Represented
by the union, yeah.
Good on him.
Good.
We
I can't stress that enough.
Hello, mate.
That we talked about it with the UPS thing, with the UPS strike, because funny. I was with some friends. I was with funnily enough. I was hanging out with Luke on his birthday. And we were talking about this, and we talked about the UPS strike because we were talking about WGA and SAG-AFTRA, and then we talked about the UPS one, and I think we talked about it last week. And I said to him,
I smoke outside at my apartment complex with a guy who works for UPS. I don't know if I told you about on the show.
We talked about it. Yeah, I don't know
if
I
told you
about
off the air.
But he said, yeah, we got $800 million out of them.
I can't remember what it was.
Something like that.
Yeah,
number.
They took a big chunk, and they had it the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what happened in the conversation. I literally said the same thing. I said, wow, magically they just had $800 million lying around.
Because they had it the whole time. And you've seen the numbers about like what Netflix and Disney and all that they're asking for. It's like 0.0000013% of like their net worth or some shit. Like nothing. It's nothing to them. It's pocket change. Wage
theft is a huge deal.
Holy
and that's why these companies are unionizing. But again, I do think it's worth noting that this isn't the third parties that Marvel has been working with recently. This is in-house Marvel Studios.
But it's a good
visual
first
effects.
step, though.
Yeah, visual effects artists.
It's a good first domino.
Yeah, these are visual effects pros employed directly by Marvel and generally work in Atlanta, Los Angeles, and New York. It doesn't include the work of thousands of visual effects artists that work on Marvel movies through third-party studios. Marvel has not yet voluntarily recognized the union effort. I don't see a reason why Marvel won't, just because of the unbelievably bad press Disney has been giving during these other strikes, and it's. I think they need.
Are we going to talk about Warner Brothers?
Oh yeah, fuck David Zaslav. I want to be very fucking clear, and I really want people.
I was just about to say, but
Tyler,
you had
I really want to say
up
this. I don't think I've said this enough.
I love you too.
I don't ever in my lifetime at all expect to work for Disney or Marvel or Warner Brothers or DC, any of that shit. So I can comfortably say, go fuck yourselves. Seriously, guys, go fuck yourselves. Because he was bragging about not paying people. Like, he was.
Yeah, how much money they've saved by delaying movies.
Here's a fun fact for you. David Zaslav doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Because you know what he did? He took over HBO Max. He took over the most HBO, one of the most recognizable brands in entertainment, and just gutted it. Takes all this content off the app, cuts off HBO off its name, and calls it Max. You know that has.
Oh, there's an HBO hub though.
You know that this whole Max adventure, the streaming adventure that they've been doing, has cost them $1 billion. You want to know why?
And mine still doesn't fucking work right.
But remember,
fuck.
David Zaslav was going to come in and fix everything. And then to go and brag about not having to pay people, and you're glad that they're on strike.
Let me guess.
And again, I bet you
He's not an entertainment guy.
I bet.
He's a businessman.
I would put money down saying that Zaslav was the unnamed executive that said they wanted to make fucking people homeless. Wouldn't doubt it for a second. This dude is a piece of shit. And you know what the best part about it was? Seeing him do a commencement speech and the students chanting, "Pay your writers." Because he is an uncreative piece of shit. And go fuck him. Yeah, go fuck yourselves. You, Bob Iger, especially you too, Bob Iger.
Oh, yeah.
Makes thousands of dollars a minute and says, "Oh, it's disturbing what they're asking." Like, these people are just trying to get fucking health care while you bathe in $100 bills.
Hey, babe. Bob. Babe.
Hey,
babe.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Bob Iger.
Hey, babe. No, Bob, all you have to do is give up like 30 minutes of your daily pay. And that would take care of everything that they want. Like, seriously.
Greed is...
That's how much fucking money
really,
you make, you piece of shit.
It really boils down to...
You're so greedy that... I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. There's that thing, like, it's amazing how much $10,000 would change somebody's life, you know, like in an instant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how many people that would change. But, like, rich old assholes are, like, spending, like, $10,000, like, on a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like a hotel room for one night. And it's like, go fuck yourselves.
And this
fuck yourselves.
This is why.
And you know what? Go fuck the people. Actually, no. I do actually praise the people who are gutting the rich people with $10,000 a night hotel stays. Good on you.
I do want to point out, like, it's important that these guys unionize because that's what a lot of this fight is about. This is the common misconception. These strikes are not about Brad Pitt or Robert Downey Jr. or some big name actor. It's not about them. It's about the people that are, you know, making barely 20, if they're lucky, not even 25,000 a year. Like, these people are not big name actors that make millions of dollars on a movie, and it's people like these visual effects artists that are a part of the crew that are the behind-the-scenes guys that make this shit run.
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. Some of your favorite lines from actors, most of them are written. Yep. And you should pay those people.
Hey, can I tell you a really a clickbaity article topic is famous moments in movies that were ad-libbed, right? You know, it's one of those like tabula or whatever the fucking thing. Yeah. Those 8 stories that appear on the bottom of every fucking goddamn website ever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or BuzzFeed, ad feed, whatever.
Those clickbaity slides.
Yeah, but one of them is always like, this person works at, A-lister in Hollywood 10 years ago. Now they're a fucking grocery, whatever. And it's always, you know who it always is? Oh, I can't remember her name. I'll remember it. But it's always this one actress from the 90s. And she's actually working still, which is funny. Anyway, but they always say like famous moments in movies or TV that were ad-libbed. And it's a interesting article because everybody knows that doesn't happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because most actors are not writing shit. Now, really good actors who really get into their character can help write for the character.
There's a lot of good
They
actors,
can suggest
writers,
stuff. But it's not, there's not a lot of,
and there's a lot of writing on set, but it's like, again, all that was there started with a writer.
Wasn't it John Cassavetes?
I don't
who he pioneered the whole keep going. No, but he pioneered the whole thing of I think he worked with Sidney Poitier a lot. But
I like how you said keep going and then you just kept going.
He well, I can talk with him. He pioneered.
I can walk and chew bubble gum. Anyway, what I was getting to
keep going.
Is I think the reason that these studios are hesitant to this is because unions are very strict about things. And unions, I've talked with someone that works on TV and movie projects. Like, he helps build sets, and he talked about being in a union, and he talked about how great it was, and how they were very strict on the amount of hours they could do, or how many, they made sure that these guys weren't overworked. And I think Marvel the reason they're unionizing is because Marvel has been exploiting that. We found out this past year how much they've exploiting the fact that, like, oh, they're not in a union, so we can exploit them and overwork them as much as we want,
right?
Because there's not, a Teamster like breathing down our neck, being like, hey,
you can't.
These are this is the hours they get these weekends,
right.
Whatever.
Oh yeah,
and,
no,
yeah. It's important to have these unions. As again, talking to someone who works. In the entertainment industry, as someone who builds sets, like, he talked about it a lot, how good the union has been. And you know what else? I think that's good all around, because now it's going to start forcing these people,
right,
by paying the writers more, by paying the actors more,
well,
or paying, and by paying these artists more. All these things, unionizing and forcing these guys. You know what that means? It means they're going to have to take time. So that means these movies are going to be better, because we're not cramming all this shit in last minute. Looking at you, Phase 4 of the MCU.
Also, you're talking about whatever, but every one of your projects ends with a gigantic CGI fueled fucking battle. So I mean, this is huge that they've unionized and everything, but
trying to, at least.
Or they're trying to, or they voted to try to. But I mean, go read some stories about, like, the old days in Hollywood. I can't remember what they were called, but basically, it was contract. I think they called them the contract years. Because these actors would be under contract to, like, these movie studios, and they treated them like shit. Go read about Judy Garland, motherfuckers. Go read about that shit. That shit was awful. If they didn't have SAG-AFTRA and the WGA, that shit would still be fucking going on.
Also, SAG was such. I talk about. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not trying to shoehorn Jesse Ventura into this. No, but.
But we should. We should try to fucking shoehorn Jesse Ventura into everything.
Tyler, I promise you, I'm making a point.
Okay.
Jesse, when he worked on Predator,
yes,
he got SAG. He got a SAG card, and he loved it so much. He came back to the WWF.
He loved it so much,
and I looked him all in the eyes. This was right before WrestleMania 2, and I said, "Hey guys, I just joined the Screen Actors Guild, and I gotta tell you, unions are the shit, man, and we should do one."
He even suggested this.
He goes, "We could do a work stoppage."
Keep in mind, this is WrestleMania we're talking about, but that's what I'm saying is that these unions that have treated these workers so well, they're at a point where they're like Jesse Ventura himself was like, I should pitch this to other people and we should do this more. And again, I think good will come out of this. I think only good will come out of paying people and letting them have time off. I think too long in this country we have been exploited as workers by working crazy hours, working holidays when we shouldn't, and we should have time off. Like, I hate to tell you guys, I don't believe that people should work to live.
What?
Crazy. Yes, you should have a wage, and you should have a job, but I'm not saying that you need to work yourself to the bone for some corporation.
I got thrown out of somewhere for stating that opinion of mine, that we have enough food to clothe, feed, and shelter every fucking human being on the planet, no exceptions.
Yeah.
And ended up turning into an argument where I got thrown out of the house. Not really. I guess I left.
You took yourself out of the situation.
True.
But regardless,
let's you know what?
I
left.
There's only good.
I didn't have to go. I wasn't like, get out of here.
Yeah.
There never was that.
Yeah.
Not like that guy listens to this anyway, so.
Moving on.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.